It's time for another beer from Europe. This time it's the Budweiser. And if you're asking yourself, hey, Budweiser, this is from the US, I might prove you wrong in 6 seconds. Hey, hi and welcome to another beer review here on my channel. My name is Martin and I welcome you here from my little man cave right in the heart of Vienna in Austria. And as I promised you, I'm going to introduce you to some beers that origin from Europe. And today we have a very special beer because there's a maybe not so nice story, but there's a link to the US with a beer that you're pretty familiar with, that's available in every supermarket. Today we're talking about the Budweiser beer, but this time it's the beer from the Czech Republic, as you might recognize from the can. The writing on the can is quite similar to what Anhaeuser Bush, and now we named the other part from St. Louis, is doing. Yeah, we have a lawsuit going on for more than 100 years between Anhaeuser Bush in the US and the state-owned brewery that is located in Budweis in the Czech Republic, which both claim to be the original Budweiser beer. This one, to talk about the technical data, is 5% ABV, 11.9 on the Plato scale for the gravity, and 22 bittering units. As far as I know, the American Budweiser is around 5% too, but in this beer, I don't know exactly about the US version, but in this beer no rice and no 6-row malt has been used. So there's mainly the difference. I don't know exactly if rice is being used in the Budweiser. In the Bud Light it is, but I don't know about the Budweiser. But maybe you can write your comments about that if you know exactly in the comments box. But this one is being brewed in the Czech Republic, and this lawsuit is going on since 1907 because the Czech have started to import their beer to the US in 1906, and which of course made Anheuser Busch take them to court as they had a similar name, and they started arguing for at least more than 100 years. Now there seems to be some kind of solution. In 2007, the Czechs were allowed to import their beer to the US under the name of Czechvar, and for that it's necessary to pay a license fee to Anheuser Busch, as far as I know. And in 2013 in Europe, the term Bud is only limited to the Anheuser Busch beer. So when I want to go to a supermarket, and there are certain supermarkets in Vienna, and I want to buy the Budweiser by Anheuser Busch from St. Louis, it's named Bud. And if I want to have the Czech version, I go and buy the Budweiser Budvar. So this is the clear solution. But if you're going to the UK, it's totally different. There is the Budweiser by Anheuser Busch and there's the Budweiser by the Czech Republic. As you might know, the UK does not belong to the European Union anymore. The European Union, yeah. And they have both beers. And both claim to be the original ones, so I don't care really. If I want to buy a Czech beer, I go for the Budweiser Budvar, and if I want to have a US beer, I go for the Bud from Anheuser Busch. The hops being used in the Budweiser from the Czech Republic is I can't really translate, it's a hops from Záhř, the famous hop growing region in the Czech Republic, and it's called semi-early red hop cone. So it's Záhř hops, but semi-early. I tried to translate it from German into English, but it's definitely hops from Záhř, and this is quite famous for the Czech lagers in general, even for the Pilsner Urquell, as you might know. So enough talking, let's open this can and get this one poured into a glass. And first of all, check the appearance in the glass. And I actually, on my recent trip to the Midwest, I visited St. Louis, and I also visited the Anhaeuser Bush brewery, and we got a Budweiser. So maybe my memories are still fresh enough to compare, but I tried to rate this one on its own. It's a nice crystal clear golden color, medium sized, and white foam on top. We have some carbonation going on, and yeah, that's basically it. Let's check the aroma. And it's super fresh, super floral. We have some noble hops, light malt, some hay and straw going on. So this is very typical for a Czech lager as we get it here in Vienna. Yeah, let's dive into this one. Cheers. Yeah, and for 22 bittering units, where, as I mentioned, we have 22 IBUs, there's a nice bitterness, but also a balancing malt character on the other side. So it's a very, very soft start with this beer. We have a nutty, bready malt character. We have some grassy hops. In the back, there's some subtle lemon. In general, a rather light mouthfeel, but it's very fresh, very easy drinking. This is what Czech brewers want people to notice or to say about their beer. You can drink loads of this beer. And this is at around 12-degree plateau. And if you might know the Czech tradition or the Czech habit of offering beers in a bar, they're not offered by the alcohol, they're offered by the gravity. And if you go to a brewery, they offer you a 10-degree, 11-degree, 12-degree beer. And sometimes the gravity is written in percent, and you see it's 10%, 11%, and 12% beer. And it's not the ABV, it's the percentage of the gravity. And with 12, as you got it from my last words, it's kind of rather a stronger one. So I would be a little bit careful, even though it's only 5%. But for Czech, from a Czech perspective, this is already getting a stronger lager. So if you go for a beer and you have the plan or the intention to have 4, 5, 6, 7 beers, maybe better start with the 10-degree or 10% gravity beer in the Czech Republic. They're also tasty. Yeah, for security reasons, I can only recommend doing it that way, because when you start drinking in Czech, you will not have only one beer. It's rather dry, or on the drier side, not a really dry beer, but there's some caramel character still going on, but not contributing to the sweetness. Easy drinking, as I mentioned before, and has a rather light body. It's a lively carbonation, really refreshing, and with a slick texture. It really goes down easy. I could drink, if I could, 4, 5, 6 of this beer, because the drinkability is so high with these beers coming from the Czech Republic. It's really, really dangerous. In the finish, it's getting a little bit drier. The hoppiness, bitterness is getting a little bit more present. Little herbal aroma, and still the light malt is present everywhere. So this is a really nice thirst quencher when you return home from a long working day. And I can recommend Czech beers for this occasion. Really. We have them available in lots of supermarkets, so they're quite popular around here. So the Czech version of the Budweiser, or the Budweiser Budvar, as we say here, from Probier TV, I give a rating of 4 out of 5 points for the Budweiser Budvar, the original from the Czech Republic. So if you have already had this beer and feel more qualified to compare them, write your comments in the comments box. Which one is the better one, the American one or the Czech one, or at least which one do you prefer more? And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to please hit the button below to subscribe. You will get notified if there's a new video about an Austrian, German or European beer, or my rating of an US beer. So stay safe and enjoy the beer you're having right now. Prost, cheers and Ahoi. Cheers.